Hello, fighters, survivors, and thrivers. Welcome to the Cancer Show. It is Superhero Saturday, and boy, do I have a superhero for you. I am here on one of my favorite websites. This is livingwithcancer.com. I will post the link to this website and check it out. It's really a wonderful website. And they have these amazing stories that I love sharing with you. So this is Lisa's story, speaking her truth. Lisa B., living with cancer since 2006. As a Brooklyn girl, Lisa can handle just about anything with her personality and chutzpah alone. But add that to a law degree, 2 graduate degrees, and a Rhodes Scholarship, and Lisa doesn't shy away from speaking out about her endometrial cancer diagnosis. Wow. Awesome, Lisa. Huge applause for Lisa. Law degree, 2 graduate degrees, and a Rhodes Scholarship. Super amazing. She quotes, I was a newlywed with cancer. It's not exactly the fairy tale dream you picture in your mind. No, not at all. So Lisa's journey began with a routine visit to a new OBGYN. That was probably meant to happen, to get a new OBGYN. She had experienced a few months of spotting, which she chalked up to her busy and stressful life between getting engaged, working 2 jobs to pay for her wedding, wow, and studying for her second master's degree. Lisa had a lot going on. Clearly. But when she went to her appointment, the process was anything but routine. Her doctor immediately identified a concern and ordered further testing. The next day, Lisa's life changed forever. It was surreal. I was standing in the middle of Midtown Manhattan when I got the call from my doctor. As cars were honking, street lights blinking, and people passing, Lisa learned that she had endometrial cancer. Quote from Lisa, when you're wearing clothes, people don't see your battle scars. 100%. It's like when people would always if they see me, they're like, "Oh, you look so good," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going through chemo." Do I really look good? I don't know. I called myself the Elephant Woman because that's how I felt. If any of you remember the Elephant Man from the 1980s movie, true story actually, but yeah, his face was like blown up, his head, and he dragged himself, and he was poorly. He would, that's how I felt. That's how I felt like I looked. That's how I felt on the inside. I called myself the Elephant Woman because I had, cold sores and corners, and I had to wear mitts from neuropathy, and I was weak, and so it's like, this the Elephant Woman. That's what I call myself. Okay, Lisa began chemotherapy to shrink a tumor and had grown into her colon. Over the course of the next 3.5 years, wow, she had 7 surgeries to deal with the cancer and its effects on her body. This includes getting an ileostomy bag surgically connected to her abdomen to remove waste from her body. So that's tough too. For those of you that have a bag, huge respect to you, huge respect, because I see people rocking their bags and taking pictures and really supporting others that are going through that, especially if it's permanent. Sometimes it's just temporary, and it's just it's your life, so you got to do what you got to do. But wrapping your head around having a bag for your whole life can sometimes be challenging. But once you embrace it and you accept it and you move forward, then things go better. Things go better in your mind, and also, not just emotionally, but spiritually too. You just have to accept it, or you're going to constantly struggle with it. And there's just so many support groups and people that have gone through the same thing. So if any of you are watching this and you have that, please message me if you don't have any connection, and I will hook you up. Okay. Then she goes on. Through it all, or the article goes on, through it all, Lisa had great admiration and respect for her doctor. In fact, she remembers feeling grateful when he returned from his vacation early to perform her final surgery. She credits him as someone who always listened when she said that something didn't feel right. So this is another key point. If you're telling your doctor that you feel this way and they're not hearing you, you either have to continue to push forward with that doctor or get a new doctor, because I've heard countless stories of people saying, I went to my doctor and they just kind of brushed it off, and then months passed, and then I went back, and then finally I went to a different doctor and it was cancer. Doctors are people, they make mistakes, but if your doctor's not listening and saying, okay, let's try this, let's try something else, let's do some tests, then maybe you need a new doctor. For me, I ended up in the hospital with a tophitis, which is basically chemotherapy poisoning after my second round of chemo, and I was like in dire pain, dire straits. I had so much pain, like I couldn't even walk. She said, come into my office, which was like that. I could barely do that. I could literally barely walk. I was like hunched over, and like the elephant woman, and I was sick like every 30 minutes. I was getting sick, and she said, tomorrow we could do, colonoscopy. I'm like, tomorrow? She's like, not a colonoscopy, but she would do check out my intestine, my colon, basically, my colon. And that sounded like a very, very long time to me. And so I'm like, okay, so fine. I went back home, and within an hour I was in the ER. And I had toxicity I was poisoned. I could have died. And when I would call in to the office, they said, well, this is normal. These are normal side effects. Okay, they're normal side effects, really, but it's like every 30 minutes I'm, sick. Like, that does not sound right. And I was in so much pain. It wasn't like the constant dull pain of chemo. It was just it was aggressive. So anyways, thank goodness I went to the ER, because who knows? I mean, that can kill you. A lot of times people don't actually pass from the cancer. They there's other reasons, like pneumonia or something like this, toxicity or whatever. So you have to listen to yourself, and your doctor also has to support you. And obviously Lisa had an awesome doctor. Came back to even cut his vacation early just to do her final surgery. I loved, and still love my surgeon. He's pretty awesome too. Okay, Lisa quotes, writing is what helped me express myself so people could hear or read exactly what I was going through. Unfortunately, Lisa was frustrated that many people in her life couldn't seem to understand what she was facing. And she discovered that sometimes in sickness and in health doesn't mean until death do us part, when she and her husband divorced. Lisa knew she needed to make her struggles visible through her writing. Putting her truth down on paper has helped her share her passion, her pain, and her joy with others. It's been 10 years since I got diagnosed, and I have 10 anthologies under my belt. Awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's why we have support groups, because even the doctors, unless they've had cancer, can't understand cancer. Like my oncologist, who I also love dearly, when I asked him, what's it going to be like going through chemo, he said it's going to be like the flu. And I used to tease him. I'm like, you call this the flu? This is not the flu. This is like the tsunami of a flu, or an earthquake of a flu, like the volcano of a flu. This is just like a normal flu. This is this is just like hell. That's what it was like. It was like, am I in hell? but yeah, I mean, some partners cannot support you. They just don't have the capability, or they don't want to, or it's too much for them, or there's could be so many reasons. But that's, that's a backwards blessing. I mean, that person can stand beside you or try to understand you during cancer, like when things are tough, then that's probably not the person that you're supposed to be with. And it's also like, if you really want to talk cancer, find support groups, or find somebody else that's going through cancer, or find a mentor. I can, definitely connect you with a mentor. Message me if you need a mentor, somebody who's had your type of cancer, your age, your gender, and sometimes even a similar location, so you could actually meet up. But it's personal, going through cancer, and even the specific kinds of cancer, like breast cancer and colon cancer. Those are totally two different types of cancer, obviously. And even though it's cancer, you are united. But talking about the specifics of each cancer is helpful when you're talking to somebody. Oh, and this is happening to me, and that's happening to me, and oh yeah, me too. Like, me too, those words, me too. So don't get too frustrated with your family members or your best friends or even your spouse. They can support you, but they may not be able to understand you, because how can they haven't been through it. And also, I think it's really important, if you're going to work with a coach or a professional, and I don't want to put them down or saying they're not worthy, but I just feel like cancer coaches, and I am a cancer coach, should have, there's that word. I think a cancer coach who's gone through cancer may just be able to coach a little bit better, understand a little bit better, a little bit more. That's just how I feel now. You could say, a psychiatrist doesn't have to, be schizophrenic to understand, but that's true. But this is just a little bit different, because this is like a process, and it's deep. It's really, really deep. So just pick your people who you can talk to listen, but don't expect, when you're talking to somebody who's gone through it or going through it, it's going to be an instant connect, because you're like, me too. I can't feel my fingers. Me too. I have cold sores. Me too. I'm nauseous all the time. Me too. I have no appetite. Me too. And the list goes on and on. Okay. Today, Lisa reminds others that even when someone looks fine on the outside, they may be struggling in ways you can't imagine. Her advice: it's okay to be on a roller coaster of emotions, and feeling them all doesn't make you crazy. In fact, those emotions are an important part of the journey. Lisa takes great solace knowing that she and others like her can be strong, truthful voices for the hard and often messy reality of cancer. 100%. And that's why I share not just my story, but tips, strategies, practices. That's why I think that the more of us that are doing that, the better. It takes a village, and we are one. We are a tribe. So share your stories if you're comfortable, and lift each other up. Help by just being there, by just saying, I understand. It makes such a big difference. It's like when you meet somebody and you're talking, you could be talking about anything, and then something comes up and I say, oh yeah, well, I had cancer. Somehow it comes up, I had cancer. Oh, me too. Oh, really? What kind? Oh, I had breast cancer. Oh, I had colon cancer. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Who's your doctor? Like, where'd you go? Like, you're connected, immediately connected. And you'll see this with anything. Like, people have gone through things and like connect, and then it's a Me Too situation, and that's what we call our tribes, our groups, our support systems. They're right there in the Me Too. Quote, "You will be okay. It will take a while, but you will be okay." So that's one of the things I used to tell myself over and over when I did not feel okay. When I did not feel okay, I would just say, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay." Deep breath. "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." Like slow myself, just say, "It's okay, it's okay." And that was kind of like meditation mantra. And so I just like tell myself, even if it wasn't okay at that moment, I just tell myself. So tell yourself it'll be okay. And then believe it. And just say it over and over and over. It helps. Now Lisa is more than just okay. She is constantly on the go, traveling internationally, volunteering at her church, where she joyously rings the bell every week. Ding, 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 that chemo bell, Finnish chemo bell, and serving with her national sorority. She also celebrates warm and loving relationships with a new beau and her many close friends and family. So Lisa came through and she shared her story through her writings, shared her pain. Thank you for joining. Hi, Tracy. Hi. And, just reading about this story, I mean, here's this woman who's extremely highly educated. She gets married. She gets cancer and ends up, going through a divorce because going through cancer isn't enough. But you'd be surprised. Hi. You, and who too? And I do that all the time. And you just don't know. But whenever you go through something challenging, you really find out who that person is, who's supporting you. And it's actually been shocking to me as a coach and a mentor. Like, I've mentored countless people before I became a coach, which is very similar. And I'd be shocked to hear about spouses, family members, best friends don't support that person going through cancer. But that's all right. That means you need a new support group. You need a new partner. You need new friends. Your family, that's something different, but I have ways to deal with that. So if you're having troubles with that, message me. With family, you're always going to be related to them, but that does not mean that they can come into your space. Okay? You can keep them away, and there are ways to keep them away. And you have to build that buffer for yourself, for your own emotional health. Because when you're going through cancer, you know who it's about? It's about you. This is the first time, probably, in your life where it gets to be about you. You. And when somebody ever says that to you, well, it's all about you. You say, yeah, it's all about me. It has to be all about me because I have to get better. I have to focus on me to get better so I can come back and be helpful to you. It's pretty simple. All right. I will see you tomorrow for I'm Inspired Inspiration Sunday. And just remember your daily mantra. Say it over and over again. Sing it, yell it, scream it, whisper it. Just say it in your mind. Say it in the bath. I love saying my mantras and my prayers and my meditations in my bath. And just know that I'm here for you. And if you have a superhero story that you would like to share, somebody who is a superhero in your life, or maybe you have been a superhero for somebody, don't be shy. We need superheroes. We love superheroes. We embrace superheroes. And I encourage you to be a superhero for somebody. Because there's times in our life where we all need a superhero. And there's times in our life when we have an opportunity to be a superhero. To all my fellow fighters, survivors, thrivers, and those of us who left too soon, I honor them. You are all superheroes to me, and we are one. We're amazing. We're incredible. And those who are not here with us, We do this for them in loving honor of their lives that were taken too soon by this evil disease. And those are our heavenly superheroes, our heavenly superhero angels. And they also lift us up, love us, care about us, and support us with their strength and their determination and their desire to get through cancer. But sadly, had to leave us. But we thank them. We thank them because I feel them. My sister is one, and I feel her every day. And I'm so grateful for her. All right, daily mantra. Say it with me, please. I am healthy. I'm happy. I'm whole. I am healthy. I'm happy. I'm whole. One more time. I am healthy. I am happy. I am whole. The thriving starts now. Thank you so much for joining me.